Namaste to one and all. So today we have come up with one of the most common question that is discussed when it comes to yoga practices. That is, what are the side effects, or are there any side effects with yoga practice, and as well as yoga therapy? I think it's relevant to discuss this in both the topics. What are the usual side effects that we can think of with yoga practice? It is muscle spasm, it could be sprain, it could be some sort of a ligament injury, it could be very complex, could be fractures, it could be dizziness and falling off, these are the usual fears of side effects that we have. I shouldn't say that these are the side effects, but these are what we really fear of, or what we really think of. When do we see these side effects is when yoga is practiced without awareness, when it is practiced with no guidance. Usually these days there are a lot of videos, a lot of media is giving you a lot of yoga videos. You get ads saying that you can lose weight in 10 days with these practices and all that, right? So when you practice yoga that way, without really any awareness of what you're doing and without proper guidance of the right person or the right yoga teacher, then you can have these complications or side effects. And also when it comes to therapy, usually we say that we might have seen or we might have read in books or articles and even listened to it in the video saying that breathing exercises will improve, or Kapalabhati in particular, Kapalabhati, Bhastrika Pranayama, these will improve the lung capacity of an individual. So what do we do whenever we have any breathing issues? We will suddenly relate it to, okay, I have breathing problem, I will start practicing Bhastrika, I will start practicing Kapalabhati. So what might happen if you really do not know? For example, somebody who has lung cancer, and if their breathing capacity is reduced, if their lung capacity is reduced, and if they practice Bhastrika, Kapalabhati, especially these two pranayamas, because they are hyperventilatory pranayamas, they involve not slow breathing but little rapid, forceful respiration. So what will happen with these? It can lead to a lot of complications because your respiratory system is not very well prepared to practice these practices or pranayamas, especially at that point of time. Next, when we are really fatigued, what should we do? They say yoga improves energy, so okay, chalo, let us practice yoga. Now, without really knowing what in yoga you should practice, if you start practicing yoga or start practicing back bending poses, if you start practicing something that's in a very fast pace, then you can have dizziness. You might also feel a little giddy, and you might have complications with that. So we should really understand yoga improves lung capacity, yoga improves energy, but you should know which yoga techniques to choose, which way the technique should be modified and personalized for your own practice. And usually what happens, yoga is practiced, if at all it's practiced in group, there is no personal attention that can be given. If I am taking to 50 people in the hall, whom I can give really attention to? Each one of us is different. Each one of our flexibility is different. Each one have different performing styles. If I can do Trikonasana, doesn't mean the person next to me can do Trikonasana. Or if that person is able to do, doesn't mean, okay, this person is able to do, even I should be able to do it. I shouldn't compare myself to the rest and start practicing any asanas or any yoga techniques for that matter. So first of all, when there is no personalized attention, and when you usually think of your own methods of doing yoga, because there is no personal attention, then there can be these complications. And also a lot of times, to improve flexibility, I have to become more flexible. Let me push a little bit more. So what I do, I don't really concentrate on breathing, I don't really concentrate on how much I should push, and I give those jerky movements, and that's when you can have these muscle spasms, sprain. And in people with bone cancers, if they do not really know what to do and what not to do, they can have pathological bone fractures because of the or what do I say, if the pressure is not applied properly. If I am applying pressure on my palm, I should really know whether my palm or my wrist can take it, if my hands can take it. Otherwise, then the bone can break, because there is cancer of the bone in that area, and I apply extra pressure, I put weight of my body on my hands, then there can be pathological fractures. So all of these side effects of sprain, spasm, fractures, giddiness, dizziness, or complications with breathing, sudden people will have these breath catching, they bend and they feel that their breath, they're not able to breathe properly. That will have intense amount of pain in the back as well as in the chest. So all of these complications can happen if not practiced with awareness, if not practiced under guidance. But if practiced the right way, under the right person, and especially for therapy, you should go to a doctor, because they will know what to do, what not to do with you, what modifications to do, what not to do with you. So if these precautions are taken, yoga really will not have any of these complications or side effects. But if practiced the way you want it, by watching videos, by thinking that okay, I've read this book, this is how I have to practice, I'll practice, I don't want any teacher, this book is enough for me, and if you practice it that way, then definitely you may or you might get into complications and side effects. So please be careful, please be aware, and enjoy the practice of yoga without some sort of a complex in the mind. Enjoy the practice and do it for your own health and for your own benefit. Thank you very much.